Noodle the human. What does his videos mean? Why is he so interested in suicide? And when will he follow up on his promise and delete his channel? I think I have this kid figured out. All will be revealed. Let's start with his first video. Human and Idiot Podcast, Episode 1. It's a parody of a YouTuber podcast, I think. Yeah. There are two main characters. They are played by the same person. This could be because he has no friends, but more likely it is a jab at podcasts with hosts that sound very similar. At the end of the video, Character 1 tells Character 2 to kill themselves. And they do. This is actually a very clever satire about the hypocrisy of the public's view on suicide. This whole video is very smart, but the plot doesn't really start until the second video, which is called No Ad Radio Hour. Overall, the video is probably his worst ever. Noodle talks about how there are no ads in his video, then accidentally endorses a company. It's pretty boring. But the ending is where things get interesting. God breaks into the room and kills him, presumably for lying. This is genius, as it is clever satire on religion, as God kills him for messing up just a little bit, parodying how tight the grips of religion can be on their believers. But this also shows that God exists, so Noodle does not think atheism is necessarily correct. You need to have belief, but it needs to be mediated. His words, not mine. Now back to the Noodle universe. Since Noodle dies, we can assume that this takes place at the end of a timeline, unless something else is going on. But we'll get back to that later. We'll skip the third video Noodle made, since it isn't very important. The fourth is Human and Idiot Podcast Episode 1. Another podcast, but it seems as Character 2 is still alive, and neither one has any recollection of the first episode. This could be because they are clones of the original characters from Episode 1, or this is a different timeline. The characters' voices sound slightly different, and so are their personalities. This may be poor writing and acting, but I think it takes place in an alternate universe. At the end of this video, they decide to not make another episode. However, this doesn't happen, as there is a director's commentary in which they decide to make another episode, although this hasn't released yet. This is satire on all series that aren't good, but continue anyway. Noodle has many more videos, but going through all of them will take way too long. Back to the lore. All of this multiple timeline stuff may seem really confusing, but that's the point. His whole channel is to help people understand parallel universes. Noodle wants people to learn about the multiverse theory. He teaches these things that even physicists don't truly understand, but he disguises them as comedy and satire. These videos should be shown in college courses. More people need to know about this. In conclusion, Noodle the Human is one of the most creative and innovative minds of the modern era.